What is going on, YouTube? Today I am telling you the most embarrassing story that has ever happened to me. And because I don't want to just talk to the camera, we're gonna play some Mario Kart. So to start this story off, I gotta go back a little bit and tell you about what I was up to in 2012. By the way, I'm gonna play this live while I tell the story. I'm a real YouTuber, guys. I know no background gameplay here. So in 2012, I was 10 years old, right? And if you're 10 years old, I think it's like third grade, something like that. And so in third grade, we had a teacher that, compared to all the teachers that I ever had, was pretty chill, to be honest. That teacher, he didn't give a fuck about what we did on the computers. Well, we didn't watch like nasty shit or something, or we played video games, obviously. But most of the time, what we did back then was search cool pictures and try and put them as the background on a computer. And so, when I was 10 years old, in third grade, it's kind of common to like challenge your friends, right? So, you start off and be like, oh, I know you're not gonna do that. I know you're not gonna punch Jessica in the face. And then your homie punches Jessica in the face to prove a point. This is basically what it's been like growing up as a 10-year-old. And I know you know what I mean, right? Like, you challenge each other to like stupid challenges, right? And so one day, it's like a winter day, I'm outside, and in the like break, in the like, I don't know, here in Switzerland you have like a 10-minute break, it's called, which means it's not a 10-minute break, but it's a 20-minute break at around 10 a.m. That's why it's called 10-minute break. So basically, we have that break, right? We go outside, it's winter day, it's freezing cold, and one of my friends comes up with this challenge for us boys to like prove if we're chicken or not, if we're being babies or not. And so he comes up and tells us, we have our teacher after the 10-minute break that is chill. What if this time, instead of like a cool Minecraft background, we search for something a little bit nastier? This was the idea. And you know, back then it was like 2012. I think the first pictures of GTA 5 leaked. It has to be around that time. It might have even been 2013. With that one lady of GTA 5 on the load screen. I'm gonna put her in somewhere in the YouTube video so you know who I'm talking. I'm sure you already know who I'm talking about. But that lady, you know, she was wearing a bikini. It's not a real woman, it's a video game. But somebody was like, oh, you're not gonna do that as the background. You're not gonna do that as the background. And so one of my homies, not me, I did a little bit something worse, but one of my homies started off this challenge of who can go the farthest, basically. And so he put the GTA 5 woman of the loading screen as his background on the school computer, on his account. And also, a little side note, our teacher had like this app where you can see all the screens of all accounts. So he knew our backgrounds and he saw our screens. And so this guy put the GTA 5 woman as his background, and we all already thought, oh my god, this guy is crazy. What is he doing? Oh my god, he's gonna get busted. But our teacher, he didn't care. He didn't care. For some reason, he did not care. I kid you not, he did not give a fuck. He didn't even talk about the background with that one schoolmate. He didn't care. And that was a big mistake, because that meant to us boys, okay, we can go further. It started off with the GTA 5 background girl. It moved on to Lara Croft, and eventually we got to the point where we actually got supermodels off of the internet. It was a shoot, you didn't see titties or something, but you know, like underwear models and stuff. And so it got to the point where we actually put those women as the background. And for some reason, our teacher still didn't give a fuck. We got half-naked girls on the background, and our teacher couldn't care less. No matter if he saw it or not, there were no consequences for us. So we kept on going. And this went on for like a few weeks, okay? So this wasn't like one day in school. This went on for weeks where we like upped each other every time. And I and I one day came up with the glorious idea of putting an actual naked woman as my background. And for that to do, it was a little complicated because our school was smart enough to like block the porn sites and stuff. So it was a little bit more complicated than just go on a site and like print screen a woman and just put her as the background. Because we couldn't just download the pictures on a school computer, me and my friend, we went to his home, and let's just say we did some research and downloaded the picture from his home, took a USB stick, went back to school, and put it as our background. And oh boy, even though our teacher didn't care until that point, he couldn't ignore that background that me and my other friends set up. It wasn't as bad as you think. It was just a woman being topless, okay? Like, she had her underpants on, but the top area was uncovered. Yeah, you basically saw bare tits on a school computer. And obviously, the girls in the class already thought we went too far, even with the first picture. But, you know, we were like 10 or 11 years old. We couldn't care less, man. So obviously our teacher couldn't ignore that anymore. We got called up. You know, we had a conversation with our teacher. He asked us, is everything fine at home? Blah, 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 blah. And we explained to him, yeah, it was a challenge between us. We're sorry. Nah, 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 nah. And me and my friend begged him to not, like, tell our parents because this is so embarrassing. So embarrassing. The whole school already knew about it. The boys kind of were like, yo, man, you guys are great. But all the girls, you know, they found it disgusting, and also the teachers. And it was just embarrassing. Like, the whole school knew about it. And we begged our teacher to not tell our parents, but apparently this was too big to not tell our parents. And so, you know, our parents, me and this one friend's parents, had to come to school to talk about that. It was bad. It was bad. We had a conversation with our teacher, with our parents. It was just really, 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 really embarrassing. Like, imagine you're 10 years old, okay? You barely found about those sites. The woman you downloaded is probably the first woman you saw naked in your life, and you have to talk about it in school with your parents and your teacher. We were in school talking, and you know, we had to do an apology to the teacher and to the school, write a letter. Also, when I was at home, I couldn't go on a computer anymore for a few months, and it just was the most embarrassing situation of my whole life. And I still remember every word that was spoken at that meeting with my parents and the teacher, and it was the worst situation of my life. It took me like a few years to ever go on a site like that ever again without feeling embarrassed. But as a teenage boy, the horniness gets you, man, and at some point you just don't give a fuck anymore. And even if you were traumatized as a third grade boy, the demons get you sooner or later. There are more moments in my life that have been super embarrassing, but I think it's gonna be very hard for someone to top this story. So yeah, leave a like if you like this video. Let me know if you like these type of story time videos. I can make more of those. I got plenty of stories and I love to yap. So yeah, thank you very much for being here. See you guys next time. Peace out, and don't do something as embarrassing as I did. Dude, man. What did I do back then?